Welcome back, beautiful humans. My name is Remington Langston Rodney. I'm an embodiment coach, and I talk about creating transformation in your life from the inside out, from within. And through that, creating a space for other incredible human beings like yourself, extraordinary human beings to experience a safe space, to be vulnerable, to be loved, to be amplified, and reminded of their truth and their power. And so today we're going to be talking about boundaries. For me, boundaries is just a synonym for self-love. And as we continue to create self-love in our life, we increase our capacity for more joy, for more freedom, for more transformation. And this has probably been one of my biggest lessons over the past few years. Most importantly, boundaries in our relationships. This is a big one. This is a big one that I've struggled with, and the universe has created experiences in my life to practice this. It's never okay to be stepped on, to be mistreated, to be made, feeling less than what you truly are, to be feeling unworthy. And I think that has consistently been a reason why I've set a boundary in my life with another person. See, if you're a human being that is ambitious, that has a vision, that is mission-led, you don't even need to have those things, but you deserve to be treated the way you deserve to be treated. You deserve to have people in your life that make you feel amazing, that make you feel important, that make you feel worthy. And before I stepped into this world of coaching for the past 7 years of my life, I was in partnerships, business development, and sales. And as I grew in that career, my ambition for the people I wanted to be around grew as well. I was fortunate to meet people that were multimillionaires, Forbes top 50, Forbes 30 under 30, successful, incredible people that I had sought out myself. Maybe in a way that was transactional though, so that I could grow successfully as well. And in those experiences, meeting those people, I left those conversations often doubting myself, wondering if I was actually on the right path, wondering if I was worthy of this next chapter that I would share with them, that I was excited to step upon. But oftentimes they would diminish. They would diminish the idea that I had. They would diminish my voice. They would not let me share my ideas. They felt like they needed to talk over me or show their superiority. And I would often put these people on a pedestal, when in reality, no matter their age, no matter what they accomplished, they're just human beings. They're just other human beings having a human experience. No matter what they've achieved or accomplished prior, doesn't matter, you know? And I think from those experiences, I started to create this new definition for, well, what does it mean to create a relationship, or what does it mean to call someone a friend? And I started to realize and take away, it's not about what they do. It's not about how much money they have. It's not about how much they've achieved. It's not about even who they know. It actually came down to how they made me feel. And that is still an indicator for the way I decide and take action for most things in my life. It is following that feeling and focusing more of my energy on that versus the external. But I'm talking about all this because we're all in this growth pattern of defining what relationships are to us and the type of relationships we want in our lives. And for me, it's just come down to genuineness and authenticity and my friends living in their truth. I caught up with a beautiful friend of mine, Caroline, we had the honor of meeting in Miami at a period of our lives when we both were very much so in our entrepreneurial phase, very much so locked into this world of crypto, Web3, blockchain, when it was in a phase of excitement, of newness. And we caught up last week, and it was kind of funny to hear from her how much she's transformed and grown into her truth. You know, she's not looking to be in the spotlight as much as she did when I first met her, speaking at conferences, sharing her wisdom, very much so publicly facing, and more so talking about this craftiness side of her, the love for reading that she has, and her partner and her friends, this simplicity. Although when I met her, I was really inspired by her ambition and her entrepreneurial mindset, and of course her authenticity and kindness. But I felt like I grew an even deeper love for who she is as a person because of how she's embodied her truth, despite what the world announces for us to be. She's living in that. And that was also an indicator like, man, I don't give a fuck what like my friends do. I want other people around me that are also living in that truth, also embodying what it means to be an individual and authentic. But guys, we deserve the best. We deserve the best from our relationships. This is something I have really do not settle in. If I am mistreated from another person, I will either create distance and silence, or if I really, really care about that relationship, I will speak to them. I will be vulnerable with them and be like, hey man, like in this experience, this is how you made me feel. And I wanted to let you know I deserve better. And I don't think this is a bad thing. I think this is maturity, emotional intelligence. I think this is how you strengthen a bond. A few years ago, I had a buddy of mine who's one of my best friends. I called him out. He tried to kind of make an assumption about my life that wasn't true. And obviously he's not living nearby. He wasn't there to witness it. And I said, hey man, like, this isn't fair. This isn't fair for me to experience these feelings when you don't actually know the truth of something. And I'm someone that really appreciates presence from other people. And he was talking over me and not letting me express my full ideas. And I was like, hey man, give me a second to speak. Honor what I'm trying to say. Listen to me, hear my words, feel my emotions. That's so important to have that emotional safety, that space of vulnerability. But most importantly, in relationships, it's not always going to be easy. Sometimes there are going to be hard conversations. And for you, the individual that initiates those conversations, it might show you, where do I stand in this relationship? Will this deepen because there is that common respect of, hey, I do respect Remy's feelings. I don't want to treat him this way. Let me reflect more on what I did in this situation and show up as a better friend. And it's also an invitation for me as well, too, of what's this triggering? What is this triggering in me? Where do I still have areas that I can improve and dive deeper into myself? I always investigate myself first. Is it really what this person is doing or saying, or is it something within me that I have not healed yet, that I've not put energy towards or investigated yet of why I experience these emotions? This is important because the people we surround ourselves with determine our future and our present. And this is something I, year over year, have really been mindful of. I'm super lucky to say my friends are spectacular. Some of the most beautiful human beings on this planet. And still so many out there that I have yet to meet. Even being here in Bali, like the people I get to meet on a daily, day-to-day basis, it's remarkable. It's a blessing. And it's just the beginning. But I have been very specific in the type of people that I allow into my life, that I allow access to my energy, And through that, relationships is actually one of the most joyful aspects of my life. And it even goes down to the intimate relationship, your partner, your romantic partner, when you're when you're attracting a partner. And I'm so lucky to have this practice on a day-to-day basis with Elise. In a spiritual, romantic, strong connection, your partner becomes your mirror. Your partner becomes your space to grow. And sometimes that growth isn't through the comfort. Sometimes it is through the tough conversations, through the vulnerability. And it's actually, which is much more challenging for men because of how we've grown up to be tough, to be firm, to stay strong. The more vulnerable I am with Elise, the deeper our love. And I've experienced that in a lot of my relationships, where there is that commonality, where there is that unconditional love. When I can fully express myself, and they create a safe space for that to exist, or it's vice versa. When a friend comes to me and says, Remy, like, I didn't appreciate the way you did this. This didn't feel fair to me. And I take my time and my energy to first of all say, hey, I'm sorry. I don't want you to feel this way. You deserve to feel worthy. You deserve to be empowered. Your dreams deserve to be amplified because you are amazing. You are beautiful. You are special. And I'm sorry for making you feel any way less than that. Now, none of this means that you're a yes man to your friends. No one is only asking to be told what they want to hear. Sometimes you do need a friend that's like, hey, I've noticed this, and because I love you so much, I think you deserve better. I think you can do better. Now, that's a great person to have around you because they want to see you blossom. They want to see you bloom. And yeah, it might be difficult to consume that sometimes, and it might not feel good in the way that you always want it to. But sometimes that's the pat on your ass to level up, to grow, to take your life to the next level. Maybe this resonates for the season that you're in. Maybe it doesn't. But I think this is a kind of an ongoing practice that we're all experiencing. And I invite you to take a moment to reflect on your relationships in your life, whether it's intimate, whether it's family, whether it's friendship, your community. How do they make you feel? Do they amplify your vision? Do they amplify your goals? Do they embody habits that promote good health, good awareness, good lifestyle? Do they inspire you to be a better person on a day-to-day basis? Or do they take your energy? Are they energy vampires? Do they discourage you? Do they make you feel unworthy? What do you think you deserve? What do you want? It's this consistent introspection, especially after those feelings of discomfort. To me, it's especially in those moments when I slow down and I invite stillness into my life so that I can make aligned decisions. When we're trying to make decisions from a chaotic mind, we might have regret. Because that decision from the chaos might be a reaction versus this grounded energy where it almost feels effortless. And sometimes it doesn't feel good when we do make decisions that are tough. But I've learned even in the workplace, my last job, there was a lot of things I feel like I let slip from my boss. It was an amazing opportunity. I'm super grateful, but at times I felt taken advantage of. And each time I would, this is particularly in finances actually, getting paid, which I guess maybe as a Capricorn, like I don't allow that shit to fly. And I had to really reflect and ground myself and build this confidence to speak up for what I deserved. And it was never easy to do. I would be sweating, I would be nervous before I did it, talking to Elise about it. But every time I did it, I felt a weight taken off me, and I also saw myself grow. Because in that moment, I was setting a boundary. Hey, I deserve better than this, and I won't settle for anything less. So where in your life are you still settling? Where in your life are you still letting people walk over you or take your energy? Let me be the one to tell you, you deserve better. You deserve the best in the relationships, and no one else deserves to experience your energy unless they're reciprocating what you're giving out. That warmth, that love, that consistency, that joy, that amplification. If you're in a season of transition, if you're seeking more clarity, and maybe it's in this topic of relationships, maybe it's in the topic of career, maybe you're lacking that stillness, maybe you're lacking a friendship or a space where you can be yourself, where you can express yourself freely. And let me be the one to tell you, you deserve that. I'd be honored to invite you to my one-on-one integration coaching sessions. This is a safe, vulnerable, loving space for you to explore the blockages, for you to explore the limiting beliefs holding you back from the next level of your life. I'm inviting people into this space. If you have any interest in this, check out my website. I'll link it in the video. And let's connect. Let's have a conversation. If you want to learn more about it, let's chat, because I want to support you. This is what I love to do. This is who I am. This is why I exist on this planet. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day and week. Peace.